A second person involved in last year's pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University was arrested this week by federal immigration agents Thursday. The Department of Homeland Security says this person, a Palestinian woman from the West Bank, overstayed her student visa. It's not clear where she was a student. Columbia University says it has no record of her being a student there. This comes amid protests at the university and throughout the country over the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, the Columbia graduate who helped lead some of last year's protests. Khalil is a legal resident with a green card. He's currently being held in a Louisiana ICE detention facility and has not been charged. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano has been following the story, joins us now from Columbia. Lilia, what else do we know about the second arrest? And another student self-deported, right?
That's right, Lindsay. We have learned that DHS, through DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, that not only is one other student or one woman arrested who had an expired student visa, which, according to her, according to DHS, had expired in January of 2022. The question is whether or not she was a student. Columbia University has said she was not a student at Columbia. But what we know is that this person has been detained, and apparently she had been arrested before because of her protest activity. There's another woman who, as you said, was self-deported and who we are seeing in a video that was shared earlier today by Secretary Noem. She was seen in LaGuardia Airport, and according to Noem, she used a Customs and Border Protection app used and has been promoted actually by DHS for people to self-deport. And this was an urban planning student from India, a doctoral student that the government is saying her protest activities were in support of Hamas. This student as well is somebody who it looks like the government was flagging for her protest activity. The difference between these students, significant difference, and Khalil is that he is a green card holder, a legal permanent resident of the United States. He had never been arrested. He was not arrested in the protest. This is according to his attorneys. And so there's a significant difference. But the university has been, throughout the day today, people have been protesting. It's been a very active scene throughout the afternoon. We did not see any arrests earlier during the protest, and that is because of the presence of course, people demanding that Khalil be released, demanding that other students are not targeted by ICE, but also denouncing the presence of ICE agents last night here at the university, within the university grounds, which is something that even the interim president of the university said they basically had no control over. She sent a letter to faculty and students yesterday saying that, yes, according to her, unfortunately, DHS agents had been in the university doing a search with search warrants that were signed by a federal judge, perhaps looking for students within student housing or looking for some form of evidence.
Lilia, the American Civil Liberties Union released footage of Mahmoud Khalil's arrest from last weekend. We'll note CBS News did not blur out the officials shown in this video. This was done by the ACLU. What's the latest on his legal situation?
Well, right now, his attorneys are still fighting. First of all, they're fighting for him to be released. They call his detention, his arrest, unconstitutional and a violation of his First Amendment rights. They're also working to move him back to New York, and they say the only reason why they believe he was moved to Louisiana was perhaps the government searching for a more amicable or friendly court. They're also, today, they announced that they're trying to get him out on bail, saying that his detention is unduly impacting his life because his wife, who we see who we hear in this video that was released just hours ago by the ACLU, crying and talking to her attorney on the phone, is 8 months pregnant. That by him being detained, he's missing the birth of his child. And they're saying that the government, first of all, he was never arrested, as I said before, that he doesn't have any crimes, that he is a permanent legal resident of the United States, and that the accusations that in any way his activities were in support of Hamas have not been evidenced by the government. And so what his attorneys are trying to do is work very fast to have him released and returned to New York so he can be there for the birth of his first child.
Lilia Luciano, thank you.